What's up, guys? Dr. Seth back with another training video voiceover from the Strength Edge, the strongest gym in Alberta. Probably gonna say the strongest gym in Western Canada. I think we're this close from being able to say the strongest gym in Canada, so we are gonna do our damnedest so that I can make that claim. This was last Sunday, the day before my second surgery, and DORRELL's last heavy squat before the American Pro, so it was a good day for the whole crew to throw down. Got DORRELL here taking one of his later warm-ups. We got 4 reds, we got a yellow. Again, I don't know what the fuck this is in kilo land, but something that I want you guys to take a look at is if we pay attention to where he was on the pick, you'll see that he needs to get a little bit tighter before the bar starts floating, because I'm seeing he's floating the bar, which is a good thing, but if we watch, his upper back isn't totally set until after that pick actually happens, and that's something that I want him to clean up a little bit before he actually gets down to the pro. Over on the B team area where I was running the mono hooks because I was going heavy and I did not want to walk out, which meant that poor immobile Evan had to unrack the bar like 3 feet to get it out because he is much taller than I am, and I felt not great about it, but I also was like, I don't want to walk out, so he can suck it up and unrack for those sketchy mono hooks way down low. And like we talked about last time, Evan is very, very, very immobile. He's very, very, very inflexible. We are working on getting him to move better, and believe it or not, these squats actually, they look pretty darn good for him, and we are working on it with him week by week, day by day, to get him a little bit deeper, get those hips rotating a little bit better. And something that Evan did for years is that as a multi-ply lifter when he was starting, he was taught to push out and kind of like roll out on the outsides of his feet, which after years and years and years of doing that, years and years and years of not letting the hips rotate well, he lost pretty much all of his internal rotation. So right now the biggest thing we're trying to cue on his squats is allowing his feet to roll in and try to push through the arch, push through the midfoot, get a little bit more adductor involved, allow some hip IR, which should let him hit depth a whole lot better. So that's what we're going to be doing, and you guys will want to pay attention to see how Evan's squats progress week to week and month to month and probably year to year, because he is a mess and it will take some time. DORRELL taking his customary 14 minutes to get ready for his set. This was his last warm-up, 650-ish maybe in pounds. Can't quite see. Well, I don't know, something. Red and green Christmas colors in kilos. His unrack was a little bit better because the bar was heavy enough that it didn't float until after he was out of upper back set, but overall, a little bit sticky, a little bit slow, but we got to remember is that he is someone that is what we'd call a very grindy lifter. Not that he has a grinder subscription on his phone, but he's a slow lifter. For myself, I'm not a slow lifter. If I were to go that grindy as my last heavy squat, I would die on meet day. And that's something that you can kind of pay attention to, lifter to lifter, prep to prep, and just kind of learning what grind tolerance does someone have, how good are they at grinding and not feeling like they're going to die. The faster a lifter is, the less close to grinding I want them to get in training, just because it's going to be a hell of a lot harder for them to recover if we get them too grindy and they're not someone that is ready to be a grinder. Got Ty Penner here. Ty played basketball with my little brother in high school, so he is also another very tall person who had to unrack for 30 miles on those stupid hooks. So again, I felt bad, but I really didn't. It was kind of funny watching him struggle. Miana, opposite end of the spectrum, had to like angle the camera very down from Ty's squat. She was doing some heavy, I don't know how many reps. We're going to count here and we're going to find out how many reps she did. 1, 2, pay attention to her elbows. I want her elbows pulled down a little bit more. 3 at the top. 4. But again, see those elbows popping back, we want to fix that. 5. Come on, pack those elbows. 6. Okay, she's doing 6s today. I forgot. Now here's pretty little me doing some pretty little SSBs. And one thing I was fucking up with those hooks, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I got really upright on the pick, and I was almost getting too upright because you have to swing those hooks back to get out of them. And that was making me get a little bit more quad, a little bit too little ass on the pick, and I was struggling with that. So that's something I was working on as I went up. Ty grooving again with his safety bar squats with his 14-mile long range. that is not the only other thing about Ty that is very long. Miana again, looking for a little bit more elbow pack. This was her first day back low bar after a stint of high bar, so we are, again, just trying to reestablish herself, get the groove in, figure things out, and it is starting to look better. Like last week's Adelita Fiesta looked really, really, really good, so we are in the right direction. Got Big Evan back on the SSB, moving in slow motion, but again, like, this looks so much better than it did a few weeks ago, and he's probably gonna laugh looking at this, seeing where he is in space and time, but like, we're only, you know, a foot high. We're not 2 feet high at this point, so we are moving in the right direction. And really, flexibility takes time, it takes effort to regain, especially if someone has lost it for so long, and he is doing stuff outside of squatting. He's doing split squats, he's doing Cossack squats, he's doing stretching, he's going to get his way back. It's just a matter of giving him the time to get there. Big D with what was supposed to be his top set, 683 maybe, something, I don't know, someone yell at me. I'll probably put in text over top of this to tell you what it really is, because me and kilos are not friends. But check this out, watch, 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 wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, crumple. That is the sound his spine made, the as he was coming up with that. And really, the problem there that we talked to him about, that we fixed, is that he did a poor job of A, keeping his upper back, B, staying in the quads, because if you go away from the quads, it's going to force you to tip forward, and if you tip forward, it's more subjective to going blurp. So by putting a little bit more forefoot pressure, by staying in the quads and locking the upper back in better, he didn't tip forward, so he lost the upper back less. I guess I'll not spoil it, but he did come back and took that weight again. We'll see how she goes. Back to me. Check out how shitty this pick was. See how I was swinging back, trying to find it. Found that position, double checking shit. I was doing the double swing just to make sure my feet were good, then I'd commit. And look how upright I am. Look at how arched through the lumbar I am, and look how weird that initiation was. It still moved well because it's only 5 plates. It's not very heavy, but based on how that pick felt, I knew I needed to do a better job of being a little bit more bent over to stay in the hips. Miana back once again with her little tiny squats, because she is a little tiny girl. Very small. 4'7". And look at that though. The elbows are better than the last set. And look at that. They're staying a little bit better than the last set. And I still would prefer a little bit tighter pack, elbows a little bit closer to the rib cage. But again, this is progress, and it will come as she does get more and more comfy with low bar and with supporting that shelf. I think this is something like 331 for 6, which is pretty decent. It ain't shabby. It's like 8 times body weight for a set of 6, so I would be very happy with that. Now, back to me again, got 6 plates on there. Now check this pick out versus the last one, especially like right above my belt. I'm less arched, I'm not like arching the bar out of the rack, I'm not doing a multiply pick, and see how much easier it is for me to get into my hips. And 6 plates move faster than 5 because I didn't pick like a piece of shit and I was actually able to use my ass. Now, got DORRELL back again, coming back 683-ish, whatever we're saying this bar weighs. Look at this, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Oh, he's going, he's going, he's going. Big quads, and he doesn't get tipped forward as hard. He's able to keep the upper back, and he greases this sucker out. Now, again, if it was me, and this is my last squat, I probably wouldn't even live to see meet day. But this is not me. This is someone who grinds. This is someone who is very grindy, and this is someone who doesn't get beat up by squats. We're okay with this. He's got 2 weeks to recover. He is going to do wonderful at American Pro, and I would not be surprised to see 30 more pounds on that bar for his 3rd attempt. Now, got a little zoom in action because Evan was done squatting, and I wanted to make sure to show people that he actually does other things with decent range of motion. So there he is hanging out on the old hack squat. And panning back over to Tyler, kind of strong. He is kind of strong. He actually is getting stronger. He probably has the worst genetics of anyone I have ever seen in my entire life for powerlifting, but he's still getting better. He's still getting stronger. He's still putting effort in, and he's still chugging along. Like, we've got him to a mid-5 squat, low 6 pull, high 2 bench for someone who's hasn't gained muscle in his entire time. Like, he's doing pretty okay. And like, he is the example of people saying they have bad genetics, using it as an excuse, he's not doing that. He's like, yes, his rate of progress is a little bit slower than some of yours might be, but he's still making progress, and he still hasn't stopped making progress years into it, and it is cool to see. Got Miana taking her second set, and look at that. Elbows are staying tighter once again. You can kind of see how she's fighting to keep her elbows down, and as she's fighting to keep her elbows down, it keeps her driven forward. It keeps her inner quads. It keeps things working, and that's why we're trying to strive for that tight, packed-in, scooped-under position, because it lets everything else under the bar stay more stacked, and the more stacked we are, the better we can push through the floor. Now, I'm saying stacked. I'm not saying totally upright, because the goal is not to be upright. The goal is to be able to stack body parts on top of each other for compression and for making sure that we are locked in as tight as possible. Now, here is pretty little me with that double swing back on the stupid mono hooks. Look at that, found it. Look at that pick, way less archy, way less shitty, and we got 675 on the SSB. And shaboom, moved pretty much the exact same as 6 plates, which tells me that I was figuring out those stupid hooks again. Got Tyler taking his next set of 6. He's running the same program as Miana. They're both on the Activated Performance Training app, running Improvement Season 2.0 right now. And look at him chugging along. Look at him getting into the quads. Look at him letting his knees travel forward. He's someone who had years of multi-experience, so getting him to get into the quads has been difficult, but it has been tremendous for his raw squat strength to be able to actually bend and use his knees to assist him. Now, we got 730 on the bar here. Reason it's 30 is because it is a wee bit 2.5 pound PR over my best wrapped safety bar squat. So I was like, I'm gonna just take her easy, put a little PR on, see how she moves. And holy shit, she moved. And that's when I got some bad ideas in my head, and I was like, how heavy should we go? And after talking to Clint Darden, after talking to Miana, after talking to Dorrell, after talking to Evan, after talking to Tyler, I decided 765, hit a decent PR, and on a high note, not risk it for the biscuit too much. And looking at this guy, the biscuit was pretty risky because I got crumpled, it got sticky, but I stuck her out, and I am stoked to hit that in knee sleeves on a bar that is not very easy. So yeah, that was training on Sunday. We banged out some accessories afterwards, and I am very, very stoked with how mine went. Like I'm confused with how strong I am because dieting, tearing a pec, not really being able to train all that much. Like, it's weird to be this strong while dropping weight, while recovering from an injury, but I'm taking it. And if anything, I think that it is because of not being able to do the things that I normally am. I'm going towards more things that I don't like that are actually helping my squat get stronger, namely hack squats, leg extensions, and I'm banging split squats heavier than I have in a long while. And I think it is just all the quad work that is letting things come around. Dorrell is in Virginia right now for the American Pro. I think he's competing on Friday. I'll have to double check with him, texted him, but he has had a friggin' insane prep, and you guys should watch the live stream on that drug test today because he is gonna pull something stupid, and I would not be surprised if he puts up a squat that lets people think he's a decent squatter and they don't even realize he's an insane deadlifter, and they're gonna be like, holy shit, once he pulls his opener. So, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this content. Hit the links below for things to help you. We got the Bridging the Gap Between Rehab and Training lecture series where I'm going to talk about all of the very neat stuff that will help you lift better with less pain and less injury risk. And even if you do have an injury, I want to show you guys how to come back so well and so efficiently that, you know, 10 weeks, whatever later, people aren't even going to know that you hurt yourself. And that really is my goal. I want people to not even realize that I ripped my pec off 5 weeks ago with how well I am doing in the next few weeks. So we are out of here. Thank you again for watching.